Hatshepsut Hatshepsut at Karnak, a woman under God's commands. Reciprocal Gratitude. Part 2. A man who is at the head of the gods. We understand here that in these very early years of the regency, Hatshepsut rules effectively. And, even though there is no attempt to deny the existence of Thutmose III who is alluded to, though not named, it is nevertheless quite significant that, retrospectively, she omitted or avoided mentioning his name. However, this was not the case in the early representations in Semna, though dated to year 2, second month of Shemu, day 8, only a few days after the aforementioned oracle, or in the Netri menu at Karnak reliefs that are contemporaneous to these early events, and not retrospective records where Thutmose III is very present as the reigning king. This last monument, the Netri menu, was founded in the early years of Thutmose I's reign, as recorded in the text, de la Journes, and was probably located to the east of the Ikmenu. The representations of the Queen on this building are accompanied by captions that make a clear allusion to the oracles. Netri menu, wall 2 recto, over the Queen, the noble one, great of favors and of charm, Queen of the entire land, the one that this God has placed at his own places, the one for whom the miracles/oracles are great in the house of her father, the king's daughter, king's sister, God's wife and hand, the great king's wife, his beloved, the queen of the two lands, Hatshepsut, living, stable, strong, healthy, her heart rejoicing, like Ra, eternally. Another wall of the same building reveals what was precisely one of the aims of the oracles, to allow the queen to act as a king. Netri menu, wall 3 verso, over the queen. The one equals Hatshepsut, whose mind is vigilant to what concerns him, equals Amun, the one who makes for him enduring monuments as the manifestation of a king of Upper and Lower Egypt. Significant here is the evocation of the building activity of the queen, as we know now that it is the privilege of a king to build monuments to the god. A third scene of the same monument makes more explicit the content of these royal prerogatives. Netri menu, wall 7 recto, over the queen, the noble one, great of favors and of charm, queen of the south and of the north, who is under the protection of the fear which Amun generates, his protectress. He has subdued for her the hearts of the human being. He has caused her to perform for him the purification rites in his devoted place. She, the king's daughter, king's sister, God's wife, great king's wife, Hatshepsut, living, stable, her heart being rejoiced, like Ra eternally. By accomplishing the purification rites in the god's sacred place, it must be understood that Hatshepsut was considered responsible for the daily and solemn rituals in the temple of Amun at Karnak. This is precisely the role devoted to a ruling sovereign. Another building of Karnak, which was probably erected in the very last years of the reign of Thutmose II, shows clearly that the queen was already prepared to play this prominent role. On this monument, which preceded the Chapel Rouge as a bark shrine. Hatshepsut was systematically following her husband-brother while performing the rites. After year 7 of Thutmose III, Hatshepsut, whose status had changed, ordered her representations and titulary to be modified into male ones. The queen was represented alone on one register of the facade. She then introduced a dedication formula that clearly shows that she considered herself as the dedicating ruler. This recalls the role of builder of a sovereign already evoked in the Netri menu. Bark shrine, facade, right side, upper register, my equals amans. Heart rejoices of this perfect hand-achieved monument which you from equals Hatshepsut have made for me. It is what you from have done, like Ra, eternally.